What's up, y'all? Amber Stanny back with another episode of the Daily Grind. You already know I pour you up hot Joe, right? Every single day, right? Just about, right? Get your day out to a bright and beautiful start. Let's check in. Yep. But we still here, right? I love this because something about today feels cozy. Not like obviously because of me or my setting, um, but your heart, not even your heart. When you feel love, you know what it feels like. Even if it's love that's never been shown to you before. You know the energy of love. So it feels like the comfortability of feeling love. And I realize everybody doesn't feel comfortable with that. I'm not making reference to that. I'm making reference to the type of love that is comforting, that breaks down walls. Okay? So this would be like someone doing something for you, perhaps, and the love or the care it is that they show by what it is that they do, is ultimately an act of love that you feel. It's like when you're like, oh my God, you didn't have to do that for me. Like, um, that's what I feel. But what they're doing, y'all forgive me. What they're doing makes you feel more comfortable. Okay, in some regard or another. Okay, makes you feel better. Um, it's like a love that you needed. Okay, like, follow, subscribe, all that good stuff. We'll see if one of these will fall, or if maybe I need to getting an animal first. Find out the animalistic nature of the day first. Mm. You are that. That's what is. Y'all know I just be on here and I don't worry about a thing. Okay. Um. Good morning. Good night. Whatever. Good day. Okay. Um. There's either an act of love. That's what it feels like. I feel something about this act of love feels like the intention is to send a message. Okay. So someone's looking to send a message, to say something. They may be hinting at something, but they're doing something to send a message. They said the action is speaking. Okay. And I do feel like whoever this is watching, looking, listening, paying attention to see. I just heard that the action has spoken, or that you received the message. Okay. And this could be you, right? You could be doing something because you want someone to get the message, right? Maybe you're dropping hints, right? Well, on the other side of so you dropping hints, you may be watching to make sure someone's picking up what you're putting down, getting the love that you're showing them. Okay? Making sure they feel you. Okay. All right, let's get deeper. Okay. Our time runs out. The deer is our first card. Okay. As the young deer panteth. Okay. Earth energy. There's something at the top of the day that has to do with someone being, I'm just going to say, sensitive about their work. Okay. And I don't know if someone is, this could be like checking their work, or asking about their work. It feels as though someone picks up on that, okay? Now, that could be where, like, someone's sending a message, right? I'm trying to show you love. That's why I'm saying this or doing this or inquiring about this, okay? I'm trying, this is, are you aware? Hello, 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 hello. Let's continue, okay? I also feel like, I don't know why, I kind of feel like mm, it just kind of gives the impression of like when there's a desire for you to pick up on what feels like the temperament in a situation or circumstance, okay? This could be the business, right? We want you to know we're interested in you for the job, right? But it's almost like I kind of get this energy of like they maybe know you feel some type of way, okay? They know that you know, like they maybe they can tell or just expecting, okay? So because they don't want you to feel what could be like sensitive or vulnerable, or again, you could pick up on this in others, right? Being able to sense, I can tell you feel some type of way. So because of that, you could certainly be, like I said, I don't know why it's giving like if somebody's sensitive about their work, it's almost like I'm picking up an energy like someone's sensitive about their work and someone's asking. And this don't have to be their work. This could be like I'm working on a relationship or I'm still working on this or through something. That's what it feels like. An area where someone is it gives like when you have questions for God, I don't know my dang on self, right? I'm still trying to understand some things. That's what this feels like. Someone is still in a learner's phase. So it's almost like because I'm still studying this or trying to understand this or I don't know, then if I'm asked and I'm working through it, I feel some type of way because it's almost like I don't have an answer yet. It's kind of what this feels like. Um, well, comes out midday, going from earth into water energy. I can't lie. Something makes me feel like working through, you hit something, okay? This is kind of like, um, yes, digging deeper, but this is not the process of digging. This is what is discovered, what is felt. I ain't gonna lie, something midday almost feels like someone's going to feel some very deep emotions, or they are very deep emotions, but it feels like someone's going to sense something that comes from this is not the surface. It's almost like they're picking up on something much, much deeper. Okay. Okay. It's almost like this is bigger than you understand, quote unquote. Okay. That's almost like what I feel. Something that's what, in a general sense, this feels like s- someone's noticing something. Again, learning, picking up on, maybe understanding something. Okay. Some of you may even find like, the two-way of this is that sometimes you have people who are like, if I'm sensitive about my work, I'm probably definitely not going to be like, I'm going to be very short. Um, if you either pick it up, you either get it or you don't. So I feel like that's what's at play is kind of like that's another potential dynamic is someone who's working through um it's kind of like I don't know about I don't know about having female friends or because they'll stab you in the back. I don't know about having male friends because they're not real friends. This is kind of like I don't know why it's just giving the energy of like stereotypes, right? All this or da 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 da. This feels like somebody has had a sensitivity from something of that nature. and someone asks about or like mentions whatever the sensitivity is in there, they notice someone is asking. Let me tell you what I feel. Honestly, I don't feel like I'm taking my time for a reason too, right? Y'all know we're gonna get deep in this on Patreon, right? We're only gonna have time for some animals today, but on Patreon, trust me, this message is barely gonna reach the half of its potential. We're gonna dig deeper. I just heard no holds barred, and y'all already know I don't. When it comes to Patreon, I don't hold back. Yeah, something's coming out. That's her out of the belly, and this feels like something is flowing. I don't know why. I just sense that there's something here. Some sort of energy was blocked. Okay, and I'm not sure why it was blocked or how it was blocked. This feels almost like a chakra, and I kind of want to say throat chakra, is what it feels like, um, and you know throat chakra is not only is listening and it is speaking. So this could be like someone was maybe it could be insensitive. It could also just be like unaware, ignorant, right? Ignorance is bliss and not like arrogant, but just unknowing, right? Youthful, right? Youthfully arrogant, ignorant, but almost like having no idea, right? Um, I feel like and for some of you, this could be you like feeling somewhat ignorant, new to certain things or spaces, right? These can even be kind of like as you're looking or listening or just, I kind of even sometimes this is like synchronicities that you're sensitive to. It could be the flickering lights you pick up on, right? But just it's things where you're like, I don't know, right? I have some questions, I'm not sure what that, I don't know what that meant, or how I felt, or things that you do know that maybe someone else is starting to notice. It kind of, and obviously not to make anyone uncomfortable, but it kind of gives like someone maybe having track marks on their arm, but maybe they in a totally different place, so nobody knows that they dealt with addiction. But this is people's, hey, what's those scars on your arm? What's those marks, right? And so this would be that person obviously having sensitivity, but what feels like moving into midday, um, it's like the top of the day is becoming aware. Someone's picking up on, they're noticing, they're asking, they maybe mention, or this could also be like the top of the day is you are noticing, right? You are picking up on, you may be kind of inquiring, hinting or alluding. And then mid going into midday is kind of like where there's I feel, I don't know why it feels like this is where in the blockage lie. And it's almost like it was so deep, something had to, that's why the work had to be done. This had to be dug to. This had to be, what feels like worked towards. I also literally just heard again, pitted against. And that came up in Sagittarius's messages yesterday. So some of you may you may benefit from going back and checking that out. But let me just say, there could be something in that. But this feels like someone's working through or processing something. Um, and midday brings in this ability it's almost like in your gut, right? Where in someone else's, I know this is deeper. This is way deeper. And that I want to be clear, that doesn't have to mean bad. This can be a beautiful thing where as you're working through something, you gain comprehension and you're picking up on because you understand based on the little that you understand, like there's so much more perhaps to be discovered. And I definitely feel that some of you, there's a very strong connection today, especially midday-ish. with the subconscious mind, which makes me feel like you could be like unknowingly doing shadow work or unknowingly walking others through like a form of shadow work where you're stop, drop, and roll. You're getting them into their subconscious. This could be like guided meditation, so there could be something significant about that. It could also be like guided meditation, like talking through or working through in whatever, way the elements are at play, working through some details. This can be instructing. So, and again, you could be instructing, someone could be giving you instructions, but this something that's like working through whatever these instructions are, or working through whatever this information is. That's where someone is able to pick up on or to sense the depth. They can they become aware. I don't know why. It kind of feel like a light bulb off, right? And then if you think about the ocean, if you've seen like we'll say different excursions, right? They went to see the Titanic. When they go down there, even when they have lights at a certain depth, it don't matter how much lighting you have in the depth of that ocean, you still can't see. You know what I mean? All you can see is the light itself. The light does not travel. So it's still dark, unless you have your own light. And I definitely felt like that hit a lot deeper. So for some of you, I have to mention, right? And we're gonna get out of here because I don't want this to be too long. And I am gonna speed the video up, so take it however it is that I hope that's okay for some of you. Um, this feel like a space where you lose some people. Okay, it's like swimming, right? There's a time and a place for the kiddie pool, right? And this is in life. Some of y'all, this is in your spiritual journey. Some of you, this is just in like the process of what could be like establishing a relationship, a friendship, right? Doing business together, whatever, okay? There's what feels like a learning curve, okay? And what happened with every learning curve, right? Some people on the curve, they're riding the wave. Some people fall off the curve. And something about the deadhead feels like, and I don't have any cards indicating a turning point. This is just how I feel. Yeah, okay. I just heard the one in front of the gun lives forever. The one in front of the gun lives forever. Um, something makes me I don't know why that song is. What is that? Money trees something that I can't recall. I'm not recalling the song, but whatever this is much deeper, and you want to pick up on that. Um, it feels like this is kind of like very deeply sensing. I just heard they're coming with you. So I don't know where you're going. Maybe you're going somewhere. Maybe someone's coming with you. Um, and this could just be like on your journey in life. This is something that you are, I don't know why I just heard taking for the road. Okay. Um, and again, this could be like on just taking with you in your life, right? Whatever direction it is that you're going in life. Um, this could also be like very deeply sensing like your I just heard they can't come. They cannot come. Okay. And it's almost like if there is what could be like ignorance for some, I am picking up for someone a learning disability will resonate. Okay. I don't feel like that's for everyone, but I do feel like for someone, a learning disability will resonate. Either way, there is this turning point where, and again, some of you, these are things, right? Some things kind of are definitely kind of, and this is deep, right? It's kind of like when you go to, it's giving, what is that movie with Marlon Wayans, the Annabelle doll? It's kind of giving, like, how he kept trying to throw her away and she kept reappearing. Like, obviously, you have just heard different shades of demonic that, and that shown up is. So I'm definitely not talking about that, but it gives, like, you have some things that like that are not demonic, right? And I'm not talking about throwing something away and it appear right back there. I'm talking about, like, what probably would be more likely would be like, um throwing something away and then another person being like, I saw this in the trash, but I know you really love this, da, 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 so I pulled it out and I don't know how God must have actually, what I mean? Like, yeah, it must be meant for me to keep, right? It must be meant for me to have. This can be like people too, right? Try to get rid of them, but they must not be meant for me to get rid of, right? So there's something like that. Something, it just feel like something's taking place. Y'all don't get scared. Feel like something taking place today, and by the middle of the day, in the gut, it's like, I know this is way deeper, and it almost feels like something is supposed to happen. I don't know why I just heard someone is supposed to propose or something. Maybe there's something significant about that, but it just kind of feels like, okay, so on this realization of something being much deeper, this is like someone is like, I don't know, it kind of does. Well, I see someone with a champagne glass, like wanting to give a toast, but being nervous. It gives like someone is like, let me speak, let me say something, okay? Let me try to, I don't know why it kind of gives like, speak to this, or articulate in some ways. Let me try to get my words is kind of what this feels like, okay? Because this is deeper. Let me hurry up. I don't know why it kind of feels like, let me hurry up and get my words together. Let me figure out what I want to say. Can be what this is. We're going to Patreon to get the extended, y'all. Thank you. Thank you for your patience. I'm not going to speed the video up. By the time you get this message, you will realize that though. But that's because I want y'all to be able to speed it up. And I know it distorts the sound. If I do it on my end, I just like the young upload. Anyway, like, follow, subscribe, join us on Patreon. That's where you're gonna I'm really able to kind of break this down and really ease into the messages and show y'all the love you deserve. We'll see you there. Bye for now.